and we can dive in. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to this workshop on this beautiful Friday called How to Advance Your Career Without Working More Hours. I'm really happy that you are here. I am Andrea Jensen. I know a lot of you already. I am the founder and the chief content and strategy officer at Ambition Theory. And Ambition Theory actually started as my own business. It used to be called Andrea Jansen Professional Coaching. It was me having a coaching business all by myself. And I got some really good feedback from my coaching and from my workshops. So I worked with a lot of big clients like PCL, RBC, Manulife, and I would do these workshops and I would get this feedback. People would say, Andrea, that was the best workshop we've ever been to. Andrea, your coaching is so good. Your programs are so different than anything else that we've seen. We loved this session. I remember even one organization telling me 3 months after I did a workshop with them, they're like, people are still talking about how amazing your workshop is. And it's interesting because you would think because I did a really good job at these workshops that opportunities would come and they'd want more workshops for me. And they would tell other people about me and more people in their company would want to work with me. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So even though I had an MBA, I'm a certified executive coach, I worked with all these amazing clients and I had really good feedback and I worked really, really hard to deliver on this work that I would get for these clients. It was still really hard for me to continue these relationships. Just because I got in the door, it was really hard for me to develop that business to the next level, to make it an ongoing relationship so that I could keep working with that client year over year, month after month. And I was at a point last year where I had to make a decision. So I was going it alone. The company had already changed name to Ambition Theory. So the name changed to Ambition Theory in January based on really our coaching methodology, everything that we stand for. And a couple months after that, I met Jody Millen, who is my business partner. So Jody Millen is our chief growth officer at Ambition Theory. So I met her in January 2020. And she joined the company officially as a partner in September of 2020. And the reason that Jody joined is that I was really good at coaching. I was really good at workshop, but just because I was good at doing that, it didn't mean that I could navigate those corporate relationships, because navigating corporate relationships, building business is really hard. And the reality is that businesses are run by people and business decisions are made based on relationships. And that is what the magic really started to happen when Jody joined the company, because her expertise is navigating those corporate relationships, creating deals, figuring out how you can help people, who needs to be on board before they can make a decision. That is Jody's magical secret sauce. She has 20 years of business development experience. She's worked in so many different industries, from nonprofit to construction. And I'm so excited that she joined Ambition Theory in 2020 of this year and is really leading the charge and taking the company to the next level. So it's not about Andrea Jansen anymore. It's really building a brand and building a company with lots of people and bringing this vision to life. So that's us. There's a couple rules of working with Ambition Theory. And if you've been to an Ambition Theory event before, you might be familiar with these. So the first rule is that we are going to get out of our comfort zone because that is where the magic happens. So I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you to type things in the chat. It might make you feel awkward. You may not know the answer to the question, but I want you to continue to lean into that discomfort, lean into that unknowing, because that means it's actually a good sign. It means you are on the verge of the magic happening, that yellow zone where you're going to learn something new and you're going to be able to move forward. So before we go further, I just want to check in with everybody. Can you type in the chat yes or no if you're okay with getting out of your comfort zone? So let me know. Natalie says yes. Ruba says yes. Sandra says yes. Okay, awesome. Ashley and Karen say yes. Chai says yes. All right, thank you. So we're all getting out of our comfort zone. The second rule is no judgment. So I am not going to judge you. I don't want you to judge each other. And the most important thing, I don't want you to judge yourself. It's really easy to compare yourself to other people, and we are not going to do that today. So just let me know in the chat, type a yes if you're okay with the no judgment rule. Yep, Sandra says yes. Judith says yes. Veronique says yes. Awesome. Sarah says yes. Okay, everyone's okay with the no judgment rule.
Yeah.
The third rule is actually not confidentiality. So sometimes in our coaching, we have confidential sessions, but this session is being recorded because some people couldn't make it live, so that we're going to be sending out this replay afterwards. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that this session is going to be recorded. And before we dive into the coaching and the workshop, I just wanted to take a minute to address any elephants in the room. And an elephant is something that's there that is blocking you, or something that everybody knows is going on, but nobody is saying out loud. Or maybe it's something in your head that's holding you back from moving forward. So I want to check in with all of you to see what those elephants are. I want you to type it in the chat. And I will actually go first because we are in lockdown here in Nova Scotia in Halifax. And my 2 kids are downstairs watching TV. And at any moment, 2 children may come up into the screen and want to participate in this workshop with us. So just want to get that elephant out of the way. So if it does happen, I'm warning you right now. So I want to hear if anybody else has some elephants right now happening in their lives. So Sandra is feeling like I never get enough done in a day. Oh yeah, that is a real elephant. That's a real challenge. Oh, Stephanie says preach. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Oh, Andrew says ditto to Andrew. So Andrew has little people in the background. Stephanie says nothing is getting done now. Ruba says, I hear you. Karen's in a bottleneck. Judith has fear of moving forward.
Not enough exercise.
Getting enough exercise. Yeah. Those are good elephants. So yeah. Oh, Jasmine's 5-year-old kid is there too. Yep. Here's the thing about elephants though, right? So I just want to acknowledge and thank you for acknowledging them. You can't go around it. You can't go over it unless you know it's there, right? So when you get it out of your head, then you can come up with a strategy to either go around it or go over it. But if you haven't identified it, it stays there and it keeps blocking you. So that's the first step. So thank you for sharing that. Megan says, struggling to balance distance learning with kids and workload. Yes, that is a big elephant. And I feel that elephant as well for myself. So now we're going to move forward and I have some questions for you. It is a crazy year. We thought 2020 was going to be the year when we went back to normal, but it doesn't seem that way. So I'm so curious with all of you is what do you think it takes to be a leader in 2021? I want you to type it in the chat. Compassion, resilience, stamina, be present.
Understanding,
drive, authenticity, being authentic. Yep. Adaptability. Oh, that's a good one.
Really good one.
Empathy. Attitude. Awesome. Thank you for everybody for sharing that. All right. So this is what the evidence says. So McKinsey did a study a couple months ago that really figured out what do employees need? What are the skills that leaders need to be successful in 2021 and beyond? And this is what they said. And I think all of you know the answer. So it was really great to see that in the chat that you're already thinking this way. So these are the top 3 skills that leaders need in 2021. Cognitive skills. So that's problem solving, creativity. Who said adaptability? Sandra said adaptability. So that is in those cognitive skills. Innovation, and then social and emotional skills. So it's creating and growing relationships. Because like I talked about before, businesses are run by people and you need to have a relationship with those people in order to move forward. Then the third one is adaptability and resilience. And we heard that before. So this resilience, which really means this self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-reliance. So this ability to figure things out and be creative. And these are the skills that we're going to talk about today. And a lot of you talked about struggling, one of your elephants being struggling with getting all the things done. And we're going to share some tools today to help you do that, to really, so you're not working longer hours, that you can actually move forward, you can actually contribute without spending hours in front of your computer working. But I want to get a big misconception out of the way. All of you shared in the chat what it really takes to lead in 2021. It's this idea, this resilience, it's adaptability, it's connecting with people. But the thing is, a lot of people still, and a lot of companies still today, still believe that technical skills and years of experience equals great leadership. But the truth is, leadership is more about influence, and it's really the ability to navigate relationships and connect with human beings. It isn't about how many years experience that you have or how much output you're producing in your job. And that's where we get stuck doing the long hours. When you're focused on that output, when you're focused on the hours sitting at your desk, hours producing, that's where you get stuck and you're not able to rise to that leadership position. And it takes hours and hours and hours of work. And so our goal for today, we are going to talk about 3 strategies that you can use to move your career forward right now without working more hours. Because I don't think anybody has any more hours in the day to spend on their career. So it's going to be about finding ways to do that don't involve more time working. So the first strategy we're going to talk about is managing your mindset. So that is working with your head up and delivering value. The second one is managing your mindset. The third one is creating opportunities through sponsorship. And then I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about the Ambition Theory membership. And we have a special offer just for you because you showed up today on this beautiful Friday. So the first tool I want to share, and this is something that we use all the time at Ambition Theory, it's a tool called above the line versus below the line thinking. And this allows you to manage your mindset. So when you are above the line, you have hope. You are proactive. You're asking questions. You're staying curious. You're owning your successes. You are celebrating those successes. You're owning your failure. You're focusing on what's working, not what isn't working. You're accountable. You're collaborative. You're looking for feedback. You're giving feedback. That is above the line thinking. When you're below the line, you're waiting for other people. You're blaming. You're playing the victim. You're focusing on what is not working instead of looking for things that are working. You're seeing problems and you're staying stuck. You're not taking action. And the interesting thing about this model is that when you are below the line, it's contagious, right? So when people are below the line, they spend all their energy trying to suck other people below the line with them. You know that saying, misery loves company? It is totally true in this model. So if you're around people that are below the line all the time, they're going to suck your thinking down with them because that's where they want to. They don't want to move up. But the reverse is also true. So if you're around people that are above the line, their energy, their thinking, their behaviors, they're contagious. So if you're around people that are taking action, that are celebrating successes, that are moving forward, that are being proactive, you're actually going to do that too. It's going to rub off on you. So this is the tool. And so every day what you can do is you can see, where am I on this above the line, below the line model, and how can I move myself forward? Because it's always your choice. Your behavior is a choice. So what behaviors am I going to do? Knowing that you can decide whether you want to move above the line or whether you want to stay below the line. And I want to take a couple minutes to just give you some practical tools, some practical tips that you can use right now to get yourself above the line. So the first one is gratitude. So I want to just focus on one thing that you're grateful for. And I have a journal that I write in every day about what I'm grateful for each day. And on some days, it is really hard. I don't wake up all positive and happy and above the line every single day. But sometimes when I look back at my journal, the first thing I write is warm coffee, because I do it. I wake up in the morning, I grab a cup of coffee and I do my journal. And sometimes that's the only thing I'm grateful for in that moment. But the cool thing is once you start seeing things to be grateful for, it's easier to see other things. So I would love it if everybody could just type in one thing that they are grateful for today. My close colleagues, still employed. That's awesome. My family, sunshine. It's not raining. It's
Nature.
Friday. A dog sleeping beside you. My mother, coworkers. You woke up this morning. Sunshine.
Birds.
Yes, I love it. The weekend's here. I had an appointment. Awesome. This is great. Thank you for sharing that. Being alive. My healthy family. Your amazing energy. Oh, thank you, Natalie. Yes, Fridays. Okay, this is awesome. So now we just did one quick exercise to help us get above the line. So I'm going to go back to the other slide and I want to check in with you. Compare when we started. So right now it is 15 minutes into this workshop. Think about before when you just signed up for this workshop and now. And I'm curious, have you moved a little bit above the line since when you arrived here 15 minutes ago? Type in the chat. What's happened to you over the past 15 minutes?
I do feel very positive and moving upwards. Think above the line. Yeah.
Yep. So Nicole was already above the line. Ruba says my energy is contagious. Oh, Becky's looking forward to her run. Sandra's feeling energized since starting here. Judith says, yeah, she was probably making excuses before. Yeah. Sarah says motivated. Yeah. So totally. That's the thing. And I just want to acknowledge all of you for showing up today, knowing that you would be around people who are moving forward and making decisions to invest in themselves right now, because that just showing up today is a really great move to move your career forward, because you're surrounding yourselves with people that are positive. So Amal is saying, I had an issue in one of my awarded contracts. Right now, I'm looking for above the line options. Yes, I love that, Amal, that creativity, that open mind. And I'm going to give you some more tools to get yourself above the line to really help you with that one, Amal. So get curious. This is another tool. If you're feeling below the line, if you're feeling stuck, get curious. Ask a question. What if? How could? What's next? Ask yourself an open-ended question. And if you don't have an answer yet, ask yourself another one. Stay curious. Don't focus on what's not working. Just keep asking more questions. The next one we already talked about, surround yourself with positive people. So when you're around positive people, it opens your mind to taking action and more possibilities. The next one is check in with yourself. If you're feeling below the line all the time, just get really curious with yourself. What is making me feel this way? And once you know what it is, then you can kind of take action about it. But if you're avoiding that, it's really hard to get out of it. So just really check in with yourself. And the last one is take action. So take the smallest viable action to move forward. So some of you said, you weren't feeling that great this morning, but you showed up at this workshop. So yeah, that's a great tiny action. You don't need to figure out the whole plan. Even for Amal's example, you got this problem with the contract and you're looking for options. So a great small action would be, maybe I'll book a meeting with my colleague for 15 minutes and we'll brainstorm some ideas. And that's a great small action. The action doesn't need to be to solve the problem, but just take that first baby step. Because once you take that baby step, more ideas will come, more opportunities will present themselves. So the second strategy I want to talk about is working with your head up versus working with your head down. And when your head down is when you're working all the time and you feel like you can't get everything done. You feel like the to-do list is never ending. It's when you got your head down, you're just focused on the immediate task at hand, like just checking things off the to-do list. And what happens in this situation and why it doesn't move your career forward is that you're working so hard that nobody even knows what you're doing. You're just in the background grinding it out. Nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody notices you. Oh, Amal says, Andrea, are you here with me? I just scheduled a couple of meetings with my colleagues. Yes, Amal, great. The model works, literally. Amal, the model works. Amal's done coaching with me. So you're familiar with this model. So it shows the skills that you're learning from coaching. You're actually doing them. You're creating those opportunities. You're getting yourself above the line. Thanks for sharing that. So back to the head in the grind. You're in the grind. It's the never-ending to-do list, and you can't really see the end in sight. You're just checking off those tasks, and it's exhausting. Head up is when you are delivering value. So you're delivering something that's strategic. You're actually doing something that is moving the business forward, that is creating relationships. And the thing is, when your head is up, people are noticing and they see you. They see the great work that you're doing and they're looking for opportunities for you. So what you want to do is you want to be spending more time with your head up. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in the grind, you got your head down, you're just working, take a pause, put your head up and look. What are the opportunities that you see? Where is your company going? What are the goals of your department? Where do you want to go in your career? So really look up, where do the people around you want to go? Who could you ask a question to? That's how you get that head up mentality. When you're stuck in the grind, really take a pause, put your head up and look at the big picture. And I want to give you a really quick tool to actually help you do this. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and feel like there's too much time, too much going on in the day and not enough time, it's the simple analogy of pebbles and boulders. So I want you to imagine with me for a second that you are on a beach and you have two options. So on the left side, there's a bunch of pebbles. So you could take your hands, you could pick up all those pebbles and throw them in the water. You can throw them in the water. And you know what? There's people on the beach. All these pebbles make little tiny splashes and they don't really notice. They're just like, they're just going about their business. They make all these little splashes and nobody does anything. But the alternative is you could take all your energy. You could pick up one of those big boulders like on the right, pick it up, throw it in the water, and it makes a big, massive splash. It makes a big noise and everybody stops what they're doing. And they're like, wow, what was that? So in order to apply this to your work situation, I want you to take your to-do list, everything that you have on your to-do list, write it down, and then classify what is a pebble and what is a boulder. And every day, make sure you're working on at least one boulder. And boulders are things like that bring in business for your company, that are new strategies. So Andrew says, love that analogy. Yeah, it's a very powerful analogy. A lot of our clients love this one. So simple, but it works really, really well. So really boulders are bringing in money for your company, building a relationship. So connecting with someone inside your company, connecting with somebody outside of your company is always a boulder. Creating an opportunity, figuring out what someone else's goals are and helping them achieve them. Those are all boulder moves. So really make sure every single day that you work on a boulder. And usually when you do that boulder, you actually don't even need to do the pebbles anymore, because the boulder has that impact and that moves the business forward and it moves your career forward. So then you don't have to worry about those pebbles and it frees up time. So the third strategy is creating opportunities. And if you've come to anything Ambition Theory before, you know I love talking about sponsorship. And I want to talk about mentorship, which is advice, and sponsorship, which is opportunities, and how you can shift from one to the other. Because mentorship, advice-based model is very time focused. And I don't want to say that mentorship is bad. Mentorship is good. But sponsorship, if you really want to get ahead in less time, you should really work on focusing on sponsorship relationships and creating opportunities. So I'm going to explain the difference. So say you're a junior person and you're like, you know what? I want to learn about sales. I want to learn about sales. That's going to be the next step in my professional development. I need to learn that skill. So you go to a senior person and you say, hey, I want to learn about sales. Can you teach me about sales? And what they'll say in a mentoring relationship is like, oh, here's a great book you could read. Why don't you do a sales deck for our company for this product and practice it at home so you can get comfortable talking about the products. Maybe they will name drop some people that they think you should connect with. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to apply it. So it's up to you to read the book, find out how to connect with those people, do that deck, practice it by yourself at home to get familiar with the products. So it's taking more time. So it's taking more time because you actually have to figure out how to implement all of that advice all by yourself. There's no skin in the game for the mentor. So if you apply what they taught you, it doesn't matter to them. If you don't apply what you taught them, it doesn't matter to them. If they gave you some really bad advice and you followed it and you failed, it doesn't really matter to them. There's no skin in the game on the mentor's part. Whereas if you really want to save time, if you really want to get ahead, sponsorship is the way to go. And I will explain the difference. So say you're a junior person and you're really interested in sales. What you would do is you go to that senior person, you say, hey, I want to learn about sales. How do I learn about sales? And in a sponsoring relationship, and this is creating opportunities, the person would say, you know what? I got a Zoom meeting this afternoon with the VP of sales. Why don't you sit in on the meeting? And then at that meeting, they make the introduction to this VP of sales. And the VP of sales says, hey, you're interested in sales? You know what? I got a client presentation tomorrow morning. Why don't you come? And then in that client presentation, the VP of sales says, you know what? The deck is 10 slides. Why don't you present the first 3? I'll be here to back you up. If you need it, I'll jump in, but you do it. You present those slides for you. And I want to ask you a question and type the answer in the chat, please. Who do you think is going to progress faster? The person getting the advice or the person getting the opportunity and learning as they go? Type it in the chat. Nicole says sponsor.
The opportunity.
Yeah. Learning up as they go, the sponsored person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Learning as they go. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Amal says, getting the opportunity pushes the person to take ownership and experience more challenges. Yes. Natalie says, always exposure and opportunity. Yes, absolutely. So that is such a key to getting into that sponsorship relationship. And I know you're thinking, Andrea, that sounds great. Where do I sign up for a sponsor? Like, where's the sheet where I write my name? Sign up. Oh, Becky has a good thing to say. When both folks have risk involved. Yes, that's the difference between mentorship and sponsorship, because there's in a sponsoring relationship, there is risk for both people. So you know that VP of sales that let that junior person present the first 3 slides, if they totally bombed it, that would actually look back bad on the VP of sales and they could have a repercussion from that. But the best learning happens when there's risk on both people. So there's skin in the game for both and you create that opportunity together. But I want to go back to how you actually find a sponsor, because there is a methodology that we teach in ambition theory, and I'm going to quickly walk you through it right now. So the first thing is you need to show people what you're capable of, because the thing about sponsorship that Becky talked about is there's risk involved for both people, right? You can't, that's why there's no sheet to sign up a sponsor. So you need to ask yourself, what does a sponsor need to know about me so that they are comfortable aligning my reputation with theirs? The second one is you need to get clear on your own goals. So what are you striving for in your career? If you share this with a sponsor, they'll be able to see opportunities to help you move forward. Whereas if they don't know where you want to go, they're not going to be able to see those opportunities. They're not going to be able to help you get them. And then the third one, this is one that people forget all the time, is understanding their goals. So really understand, what is this potential sponsor striving for? What do they want out of their career? What is on their plate? And how can I help them move that forward? And then the last one, because a lot of people get stuck in the advice trap, and it's not their fault. People don't talk about sponsorship versus mentorship a lot. We use the word mentor more often, but sometimes you just need to ask. Instead of waiting around, you could ask this potential sponsor to open a door for you. You could say something like that. Ask them, be like, you know what, I'm really interested in sales. Could I tag along on a sales meeting with you? You could actually ask someone like that if you've done the steps before and built that relationship with them. So I know this is a lot of information that we've gone through right now, up until this point in the workshop. So I want to just take a breather, take a pause, and I want you to imagine what would happen in your career if you had the right mindset, if you had the tools to get above the line, if you were surrounded by people who were really positive and they were challenging you to take that step forward, to ask those hard questions, to get out of your comfort zone and move forward. If you had a sponsor, imagine what would happen if you had a sponsor that was out there looking for opportunities for you, spreading your name and your personal brand around your industry, around your company. What would be possible for you in your life and in your career? And what would happen if you could get everything done within your workday and not feel like you have this never ending to-do list, that you could focus on those boulders and you had the clarity of what you needed to work on every day so that you could reach your goals? What would happen to you? And I want you to type it in the chat, because here's the thing. We don't talk about our big picture enough. We do our performance review, we go through the motions, but we never take the time out of our day to actually imagine and allow ourselves to dream about where we could possibly go. So I want you to do that right now. Ochai says probably less overwhelmed and more empowered to dare and achieve. Oh, yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Chai. Anybody else? So here's the thing, like getting out of your comfort zone, getting it out of your head, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to just put it out there in the world. It's the first step, right? You can never achieve a goal that's stuck in your head. Getting it out of your head is the first step. So Ashley says more flexibility. Judah says more and real opportunities. Sandra says, I would see that I'm able to reach my goals instead of just dreaming about them. Yes, thank you. Who else? Oh, Nicole found her first sponsor last year. It has been amazing and increased my client base and revenues by 30%. Nice work, Nicole. Nicole is an Ambition Theory member as well. So thank you for sharing that. That is the power of sponsorship, right? 30% increase in revenue, because you're embracing that concept, that mutual benefit, and creating that opportunity. Ruba says, I would sleep better at night. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? Want to type theirs in? Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for getting uncomfortable. I just want to acknowledge the uncomfort and the discomfort of doing that, because we don't share our goals out loud in our society. So thank you everybody for sharing that. So before we go any further, I just want to check in. I'm really excited about the Ambition Theory membership. We officially launched it in March. We had a pilot that started in 2020, and I want to take a couple minutes to tell you all about it. So just let me know, are you okay if I talk about the Ambition Theory membership right now? Just type a yes in the chat or give me a thumbs up in the screen. Yes, Amal says yes. Okay, got lots of yes. Karen says sure. Karen's a member already, so Karen knows about the community. Yes, Chai says yes. Andrew says yes. Okay, awesome. So before, actually, I think the Ambition Theory membership is pretty awesome. I know Jody and I know Sandra do as well. But I want you to hear it from some of our members first. Let's hear what they have to say before I tell you more about it. I didn't really know what I wanted until you challenged me to imagine what was really possible. I went into my boss's office, described the new role I wanted, and they created it for me. I am happy. I got everything I wanted and more. So that's from Annette, who is in Toronto and she works for Sound Solutions. Tara Andrews, who is a graphic designer here in Halifax, she said, I wanted to tell you that since joining Ambition Theory, my Q4 revenue for 2020 is a 300% increase over Q1. And then Elise said, since joining a year ago, I've gotten a promotion and I've built my professional brand regionally and nationally. My success is largely attributed to the program. I would not be as confident and successful as I am without it. Michael Hartley, who is in Toronto, said, this community provided me with personal connections that are more difficult to foster in the current climate. Through this network, I have made much deeper inroads into an industry that was seemingly impenetrable. And this is what the Ambition Theory membership can do for you. It can help you to become the leader that you want to be. The first thing you do is that you could become a sought after professional. Be that person that everybody wants to work with, that everybody wants on their team. Be that business that everybody wants to hire. That's what happens when you join the Ambition Theory community. You can believe you have what it takes. We work on mindset. We work on shutting down that imposter syndrome, quieting that inner critic, getting rid of that self-doubt. So you actually really believe that you can be a leader, that you can bring all of your skills, all of your experience to the table, and you can lead and inspire others. And my favorite part is that you will be surrounded by people who want to achieve the same level of success that you do. Have you ever heard that saying? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is your opportunity to spend more time with positive people who are taking action, who are moving forward, and actually could be an opportunity for you to up your average of the people that you're spending your time with. So everything that is included in the Ambition Theory membership. So it's a monthly membership program. So you have access, you pay monthly, and it's an ongoing membership. So it's always there. It's always helping you become that leader, work on your professional development skills, lead others, and develop and grow all the time. So the things that are included is group coaching with me, yours truly, certified executive coach, live networking with my fabulous business partner, Jody Millen. She is an expert at navigating those corporate relationships. So helping you to figure out, like, who do I need to talk to if I want to change departments? What opportunities are available to me? Or maybe I want to switch industries. How do I do that? Jody can navigate you on how to make that happen. And you have access to her every single month. Thought leadership, so you can meet industry experts, published authors, keynote speakers at our live guest speaker events every single month. You can develop the skills that you need to lead. So receive skills training every single month to get you one step closer to your leadership goals. Connect with other members. So you're with people who are looking to achieve the same level of success that you are, who are challenging the status quo, who are out of their comfort zones, who are staying above the line, focusing on those boulders. You're with people like that all the time. And you have access to our online training library that is on-demand training on skills that you need to lead in 2021 and beyond. We have a workshop on money mindset. We have one on setting boundaries. And these are on demand, available to you all the time. You have professional coaching with me. It happens in a group. There's a bunch of different times that you're able to choose from. They happen in a small group setting. So I'm actually helping you figure out, what are your goals? What do you need to get there? What support do you need from your company? Really giving you that clarity on where you're going and what needs to happen in order to get you there. So I'm holding your hand. I'm there for you every single month. Live networking with Jody every single week. She can help you with business development strategies. She can help you with navigating in your company, outside your company, into a new industry, what to do. If you're an entrepreneur, how do I get more clients? If you're inside, how do I really show my value? Who do I need to connect with in my company to get ahead? Jody will be there. You have access to her. It's a small group setting. She will help you. She will guide you. And she'll actually introduce you to other members in the community that can help you get ahead. So thought leadership. So every month we have an expert come and share their knowledge with us. So a couple weeks ago, this is a picture of Fotini Ikonomopoulos. She is the author of the book Say Less, Get More: Unconventional Negotiation Techniques to Get What You Want. And this is the second time we met with her. And I have to tell you, we had at least 5 people from the Ambition Theory community who have used the strategies that she taught us in her session to either negotiate a better contract or negotiate a raise for themselves within their company. She's incredible. And we have people like this all the time. So you're meeting authors, and it happens in a small Zoom room just like this. So you can actually ask them personal questions. So it's not a big broadcast, it's small. You're connecting with them. They're helping you, they're teaching you, and you can ask them questions. You can apply what you're learning to exactly what's happening for you in your career right now. Accountability. So we recently hired Sandra Grillo, who's here right now. She is our manager of member success, and her job is to wake up every day and be obsessed with your goals. Get to know you, help get to know what your goals are, and figure out how can we help you achieve them. What skills do you need to lead? Do we need to bring in a guest speaker to teach you something? Who do you need to know? What does Andrea need to ask you in the coaching? She has got her hand on your goals, pushing you, giving you the guidance, giving you the tools that you need to get the most out of the membership and receive your goals. So skills training, so you get to learn a new skill every single month. So that is getting one step closer to your leadership goals. So one of our members was having trouble dealing with an aggressive person, and they said, can you help me deal with this conflict? And we did a workshop last week called The Power of Conflict at Work that really gives you the skills to deal with conflict in the workplace. So we have live skills training every single month, in addition to our skills library of video content. And the best part is you can connect with other members. So this was part of our International Women's Day event. We have partnered with the Glenlivet Scotch, and we had a virtual Scotch tasting. So you're connecting with people in a really fun way, having a lot of fun, learning new things. And this happens inside the Ambition Theory membership. And it's really this idea of surrounding yourself with people who are looking to achieve the same level of success that you are, really upping your average, people that are challenging you to get out of your comfort zone, make things happen, take those action steps, book those meetings. You're around those people all the time in the membership. And then our online training library. So one of our really popular trainings is our money mindset workshop, where it's Alethea Pimenta, an expert therapist, teaches you through what did you learn in childhood? How did your mindset around money affect your mindset around money today? And I know for sure our members have loved this. They've implemented some of the things that Alethea taught us, and it is resulting in bigger contracts and the ability to get more money when they're negotiating their salaries in their jobs. So everything that is included in the membership, if you added these all up individually, so if you went and got coaching, skills training, networking, if you added up all of these things together, the total value would be $1,100. So everything in the membership includes the live skills training, the guest speakers, the group coaching, the online training library, the business development strategy with Jody, live networking with Jody, community support, and access to Sandra, our manager of member success. So if you bought all of those separately, it would be around $1,100 a month. But don't worry, that is not how much the Ambition Theory membership costs. But there's a special bonus. I have mine right here. You get, if you join now, in the mail after you come to your new member onboarding, you get a copy of the Ambitious Everyday Journal in the mail. And that is an extra $30 value. And this is so you can write your goals down in this journal. So you're tracking it, you're having that accountability, and there's something you can do every single day. So you get this in the mail after you've attended your new member onboarding session. And then another bonus is that you can invite friends or colleagues to our speaker event. So if you have someone that you want to be a sponsor, you could maybe invite them to an Ambition Theory event, and then you have that shared experience and you have something to talk about it, and it moves the relationship further. You could bring clients, you could bring coworkers, you could bring friends to just spread the word, share the experience, and share your membership with others. So that is $100 value, because if you were going to go to an event with someone, you'd have to buy a ticket for them, and you can bring them to an event, Ambition Theory event, for free because it's included in your membership. And so the price of an Ambition Theory membership, the regular price is $150, but because you're here on this beautiful Friday, we have a special offer for you right now, and that is $100 a month, and that is a lifetime membership price. So when you join today, you are locked in at $100 a month forever. So if the price goes up, your price does not go up. And if you book it later, you're not going to get this special. This is only for you because you came to this workshop today. On the website, if you go on the website right now, you'll see that it's $150 a month. And I know you're thinking, that sounds great, Andrea, but, and I hear lots of buts. I don't have time to take on something new right now, right? It's like, I don't have time. The kids are home. I got all these things on my plate. And here's what you need to understand. I want to tell you about Kaylee. So Kaylee participated in one of our programs last year during the first lockdown. And this was when daycares were closed. So she was home with her 2-year-old and she participated in our program. And this is what she said. She said, I found the time. You helped me create the time to show up for the Ambition Theory program. But more importantly, you actually helped me create the time to focus on these strategic elements. So focus on the big boulders that are going to move my career forward. And a couple months later, she emailed me and said, Andrea, I got a promotion. So here's what you need to understand. It's not about the hours in the day. It's about really being strategic with your time. And we help you figure that out in the Ambition Theory community. So if taking on more, if moving to that next level in your career is something that you want, we will help you. Number one, find the time to participate in the community, but also find the time to take on those big boulders, those projects, those relationships that are going to get you to that level that you want to get to. And I want to address money because I know money is one of those big things. $100 is a lot of money. And yeah, you may not be sure, like money is too tight right now. I can't afford to do this. And one thing I want you to understand, it's that an investment in yourself always pays off. You're investing in your professional development. You're investing in your career. That is something that's going to keep on giving. And I want to go back to actually Nicole in the chat said she got a sponsor. So Nicole is an Ambition Theory member. Nicole did coaching with us last year. Nicole got a sponsor and it resulted in 30% more revenue for her business as an entrepreneur. Another one of our members, Tara Andrews, you saw her quote before. She always tells me, she's like, Andrea, Ambition Theory pays for itself because since I joined, my revenue has gone up by 300%. So this investment is a $100 monthly investment. There's actually a return on that is much greater than that $100 because it comes in the fact of getting to that next level. If you do want to look for that promotion and we get that support to get there, you usually get a higher salary when you get promoted. So that will pay for itself. So for most people, an Ambition Theory membership ends up paying for itself. And I know you might be thinking, what is the difference between Ambition Theory and other memberships or associations that I'm already a member of or I might be able to join? And you can see this picture. On the left is Sandra Grillo, our manager of member success. You can see Jody, who's our chief growth officer. Lindsay Reynolds, who was a speaker at one of our events, and then me. That's the difference. You have me in your corner, coaching you, helping you figure out where do you want to go, challenging you to get out of your comfort zone every single month. So that's the difference. You have me, you have Sandra, who's obsessed with your goals, who wakes up every day thinking about how am I going to help this person reach their goals? What do they need to succeed? And then you have Jody navigating these relationships with you, giving you that strategy on who you need to make a relationship with. How do you do that? Do you need to connect with people online? How does one do that? How do you build relationships in this new normal? That is the difference between an Ambition Theory membership and other memberships, is you get the three of us in your corner helping you achieve your goals. And I know some people always tell me, I'm already taking a leadership course, which is a real thing, right? You might be already taking a leadership course. Maybe you read lots of books or you listen to podcasts. And actually, maybe you listen to our podcast. We have a podcast as well. But one thing I want you to understand is that passively consuming content doesn't actually lead to real results and growth. And I want to explain why through our Ambition Theory quadruple loop learning model. So passively consuming content, so that's the single loop. So that's at the bottom, that's level 1. That is training. So that is knowledge exchange. So listening to that podcast, reading that book, or taking that leadership course. We've all been to that full day in-person training where someone's up there standing at the front, going through the PowerPoint slides, and you're taking 20 pages of notes. And at the end, you get home and you're exhausted and you're like, okay, now I need to figure out how to apply this. And most people don't apply it. So you really you have that knowledge, you've done that learning, but you haven't applied it yet. So that's where 1 is. So that's listening to podcasts, doing a training course, and reading a book. And the second loop is knowledge exchange. So that is where mentorship, where guidance shows up, where you're hearing, how have people done this in other companies? Do you think that could work in my company? what are the stories of people that have done it? Maybe there's other members that have done this exact same thing, and you can learn from them. And this is great. And this is why I say mentorship isn't bad. Mentorship is good. It's great to learn from people that came ahead of you and really learn from their mistakes, learn from their successes. So that is the second loop of learning. We do that in Ambition Theory as well. The third loop is where a lot of training doesn't deliver. So it's really about that coaching. So coaching is the clarity on where you want to go. What is your big picture? Where are you taking your career? How's your company going to help you get that? Who do you need in your corner? All of those things. So it's great to have these skills, but if you have no direction, that's where the long hours happen, right? Because you don't know where you're headed. It's really hard to identify what is the boulder that I need to do to have that impact to move forward. So that's why it's so important that we have the professional coaching. And then the fourth loop is sponsorship. So that is, again, creating opportunities for yourself and creating opportunities for others. And that is where the real growth happens. This is what companies want. I was talking to a leader in the insurance industry last week, and we were talking about sponsorship, and they're like, yes, I need more of this. I need my people to be creating opportunities for others and creating opportunities for themselves to learn and grow, because the leaders can't take it all themselves. They want that sponsorship culture. And I want to tell you two stories because this is a really important model and I want to make sure you understand it. So I had one of our clients, she works at a very big company. They have a very robust training department, top of the line. They have lots of leadership courses. She takes the courses through her company. She also is part of Ambition Theory. And I asked her, I was curious. I said, what is the difference between what you do within your company and what you do with Ambition Theory? And this is what she said. She said, the stuff I get at my company, the courses through my company, they're very task focused. Ambition Theory teaches me the behavioral side of things. So I can actually go out and implement it in my daily job. So that's what she said. And I want to share a story of something that happened to me a couple of weeks ago before the lockdown. I was picking up my kids from school and I got there. I usually don't pick them up. They usually take the bus. And I got there and my son was playing soccer with a bunch of bigger kids that didn't go to his school. They were in the middle school. My son's 8 years old. He's in grade 3. So there's a bunch of kids playing and there was these big kids playing soccer with them. The kids were kind of teaching them some skills. It was a really beautiful thing to watch because you don't usually see big kids and little kids playing together. And a parent came up to me. They said, hey, Andrea. Oh, Kayla has to leave. Oh, bye, Kayla. Amal's leaving too. Bye. And I want to go back to my story. So a parent came up to me and they said, Andrea, who are those bigger kids? I don't know who they are. And I said, I have no idea. I have no idea where those big kids came from. I've never seen them in my life. And when I got home, I asked my son, Tag, I said, who were those big kids? And he said, oh, that's Finley, my book buddy. And if you think about it, it's like when they have a younger child and an older child, they're paired at school and they have to read books together. So if you think about it, in school, the single loop system is when the teacher teaches them how to read, right? And so this book buddy situation that happened a few years ago was that double loop. So it was that guidance that was learning from somebody that's ahead of you. So Finley and Tag were paired. And the cool thing about this is that they built a relationship. And that relationship has maintained itself over the years because, they saw each other at school, in the hallway, on the playground, and they knew who each other were. And now that Finley's a lot older, he's in a different school, he actually was able to reconnect with Tag, and Tag was with his friends. And because that relationship existed, Finley was able to show up, bring his friends along, and actually create this opportunity to be a leader. People always say, how do we get teenagers off their phones? How do we get the next generation to motivate themselves? They're so not motivated. But what I saw in that soccer field that day, it was exactly what we want for the next generation. We want people to lead. We want people to take initiative. And because of that fourth loop of learning, this idea that Finley showed up to the plate, he brought people with him, Tag was there, he had his friends there. It allowed those teenagers to actually lead and be leaders and teach the next generation how to play soccer. And it was a beautiful thing. And it's interesting because even as adults nowadays, we don't have a lot of opportunities to enter this fourth loop of learning. And where explosive growth happens, that's why there's a rocket ship picture on this image, is when you're in that fourth loop of learning, when you're creating opportunities for other people and you're creating opportunities for yourself together. And that is why we are so obsessed with sponsorship at Ambition Theory, because we are driving you up to this fourth loop of learning all the time. So just to recap everything that's included in the Ambition Theory membership. So you get skills training, guest speakers, group coaching, online training library, business development strategy, networking, community support, and our manager of member success. And if you bought all these things separately, it would be around $1,100 a month for everything that we're including in the membership. And now, because you're here at this workshop today, you can lock in your lifetime membership price for $100 a month for life. And that is $50 off the regular price of $150. And so now it is up to you. This is your decision. So you can keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, or you could take a risk and you can join now and become the leader that you want to be. If you sign up today, it is absolutely risk-free. So we don't have a contract, so you don't need to commit to a year. It's month to month. So if you sign up for 3 months and you're like, this isn't for me, then you could just cancel. It's that easy. No questions asked. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. We do have parameters around that, though, because we want you to show up. You need to show up to at least one event a week, do the work. And if you do all the work and you still feel like you haven't had any growth, you haven't gotten any value, we will give you your money back. But we want you to show up. And we are very confident if you show up, you do the work, you will be really happy with your membership. So it's up to you. We'd love to have you inside the membership. So you can sign up today to get your lifetime membership fee of $100 a month, but you need to sign up by Friday, May 14th, because after that date, the price goes back up to $150 per month. Does anybody have any questions? Don't be shy. I am here. We got a couple minutes left. If you have any questions.